Hey, what you reading there?
Oh, yeah, I'm reading Dune Messiah.
I see. So you're getting yourself ready for part three, right?
Part three of what?
You don't know the movies? The ones by Denis Villeneuve, the first one and the second one with Timothy Chalamet and them. You've not watched any of the movies?
No,
How about the David Lynch movie
no,
or the Sci-Fi Channel miniseries? I've not watched any of.
never heard of it.
Okay, have you at least read the first book?
If there's a book before this one, I didn't even know.
Or you haven't done that too? Oh wow. So why not reading this one?
Oh, because I love the cover and it doesn't look like too long of a read.
So you're just reading it because of the length, but you have to read the first one to understand the second one.
This book takes place 12 years after some big events. I just assumed it was going to be a jumping off point.
You're understanding it just fine. How? I mean, you don't even understand how Paul Atreides became the Messiah or the Muad'Dib.
I don't think I was supposed to. I mean, they just established the fact that he was the Muad'Dib, so I just ran with that.
So it makes no sense that you're reading it now.
Yeah, I don't really care for all that. I'm just really trying to enjoy this book.
The order is Dune, then Dune Messiah, Children of Dune, then God Emperor of Dune. Any other book, you don't need to read them. Those books get weirder and weirder.
Yeah, that's good and all, but I really don't care, man. I'm just trying to enjoy this book. So, would you like, please allow me concentrate?
Oh, I should just leave you alone. I'll let you read whatever I want to read. You know what? Fine. Enjoy this, even though you won't even get the full context. Ugh, you disgust me.
So, this goes out to anybody who wants to read any form of fiction. Just read what you want. Forget about these insufferable fandoms. Most of them are even incels, just like me.
Hello. So I've just read Dune Messiah. Actually, I finished it yesterday at the time of writing the script. Dune Messiah is the second book in the original Dune series by Frank Herbert. Yeah, actually 6 books. I read this one without reading the first one.
What did you say? You what?
Or watching the David Lynch movie, or watching the Villeneuve movies. Not even watching the Sci-Fi Channel's miniseries. I don't know if this was genius or just pure stupidity.
Are you serious right now, bro?
Because completely oblivious to what the character Paul Atreides had done. So I even found myself rooting for him in this book. But before I get to that, let me backtrack a bit. I mainly read the book because I found out that it's one of the shorter Dune books, and I also love the cover. This book takes place 12 years after the first book, and we are met with a group of conspirators, basically a bunch of people whose names I cannot bother to remember, let alone even pronounce, coming together to plan how they want to overthrow the government of Paul Atreides, or possibly even kill him. Some of the people were Princess Irulan, his wife. Yeah, which is weird. Why is your wife planning against you? Skytail, some manipulative dude with shape-shifting powers, who I think is going to be played by Robert Pattinson in the third movie. The Reverend Mother, some lady with some weird breeding program. So she also wants Paul's babies. And some other dude called Edric. Yeah, he was there too. He didn't really do much. I mean, he appeared in the first chapter, but after that, I didn't really feel his presence in the book again. On the other side, we have Paul, the emperor who started some war called the Jihad. I believe he did that in the first book, but it was heavily referenced in this one. And he has something called prescience vision. So he sees visions of the future, and he sees a vision of his lover dying in childbirth, which scares him quite a bit. He also has the feeling that people are trying to conspire against him. Then there's Chani, his actual lover, not his wife. He's married to his wife officially, but Chani is the woman he truly loves, who is also being played by Zendaya in the movies. But I've still not watched the movies.
You weird, buddy.
She can't conceive children apparently at the beginning of the book because of the conspirators. And then we have Stilgard, the most loyal person to Paul. Some would say a bit too loyal because he blindly follows Paul. But then again, hey, loyalty, you can't complain about loyalty too much, bro. The main focus of this book is the paranoia Paul faces with the deterministic nature of his visions, and the near genius plan the conspirators use. Skytail, the other guy I mentioned before, creates a, oh Jesus Christ, these names are so weird, creates a Gula named Hate, who has the memories of someone that was a friend to Paul before called Duncan Idaho, and he also looks exactly like him too. So basically he has this programming that whenever he's activated, he's going to instantly kill Paul without even second guessing it. The Reverend Mother and Irulan are the ones who planted contraceptives in Chani, so she's the reason why Chani can't get pregnant or have Paul's children. Yeah, they're quite evil because they want Paul's children for themselves. But then again, Paul doesn't really want to give them any children. He just wants to love Chani as the woman that he loves, bro. Why are you just hitting on my guy? There's also this massive subplot that gets very, very weird. Oh God. YouTube, please don't age restrict this video from what I'm about to say. So at the end of the first book, Paul's mother, a Fremen Reverend mother, gave birth to Paul's sister. Her name is Aliyah, who has a special power where she has the memories of all her ancestors. So sure, she might look young, but is she really young though? Because she has memories of a lot of her ancestors. So she's technically, let's say, thousands of years old. But physically, she's 16 years old at the point in which the book takes place. So at 16, she starts feeling a lot of, oh God, how do I say this without age restriction? Let's call it erotic desires. And the Duncan Idaho clone or Gula, whatever I want to call him, hates, is now the one who satiates those desires. By the way, the character Duncan Idaho should at least be in his 40s and she's 16. Frank Herbert, I don't know what you were thinking when you wrote that, bro. Then again, the book was written in 1969, but doesn't really excuse it though. That's actually quite weird. The book culminates with the death of Chani as she gives birth to twins, Leto II, named after Paul's father, and Ganima. The programming of the Gola fails because basically he was supposed to activate whenever he actually felt true friendship with Paul. So once he said like, oh, I pity you, Paul, your wife just died, oh my God, that's so sad. He was supposed to kill him, but he was able to overcome the programming and he became Duncan Idaho himself. So Paul gets blind after an assassination attempt, physically blind, but he can still see with his prescience vision. After Chani dies, Skytail tries to bargain with Paul. He wants the kingdom in exchange for reviving Chani because he has that type of power, apparently. Paul knows that's the wrong path because then again, you remember, he can see visions. So Paul and his newborn son, by the way, Leto II, comboed Skytail. Basically, Paul's eyesight went, or Paul could see from the point of view of Leto, his son, and Leto somehow was able to stab Skytail. Remember, this boy was just born, and he was also talking to Paul too. Yeah, it's a bit weird to understand, but then again, Leto also has the power his Paul's sister has, in the sense that he has the memories of his ancestors too, so he's already wise, even though he's still like just a baby and he was just born. The ending is very sad. Paul more or less conforms to the visions and he becomes totally blind because he does away with his prescience vision. He says, okay, I'm just going to go blind because his son and his daughter also have prescience vision, so it's apparently interfering with his own, so he can't even see straight again. So he just gives up on it entirely, and he conforms to the Fremen tradition in the sense that they have this tradition where you have to leave yourself deserted in a desert to wander off by yourself once you get blind. That's what he did. He left and went to the desert. So the kingdom was now basically ruled by Aliyah, Stilgar, and Duncan Idaho, and Duncan Idaho and Aliyah basically become lovers. That's the end of the fairy tale story, I guess. Like, okay, this is really, really weird. It was so disturbing to read. At first, I was like so scared that okay, yeah, Denis Villeneuve, when you adapt this into live action, bro, there's no way you're doing this without getting cancelled. But then again, this guy is a very smart person. He cast Anya Taylor-Joy as Aliyah. If you know Anya Taylor-Joy, you know that she's 30 years old, so at least that removes the pedophilia part. Also, the fact that I think you extend the time jump from the end of the first or the end of part 2 to the beginning of the part 3. I think you extend it from 12 years to at least 15 years. That way, it won't look any weird. So here are my overall thoughts on this book. I really loved it. It was a fun read. I loved how captivating Frank Herbert was with his writing style. It's like all the important characters have their own mini adventures within a chapter. This book is quite straight to the point. It doesn't do much beating around the bush. I don't have many critiques of it, but I still have to, definitely. I believe the second one, you're definitely going to know what the second one is. But the first critique is that half of the conspirators weren't really even menacing. Like, sure, we have the Reverend Mother, sure, we have Skytail, But the rest of them don't really do much. It's like they are just puppets to Skytail and the Reverend Mother. It almost seems like they kept on changing their plans because they weren't even sure of what to do. The Tielaxu and the Guild Masters go from trying to kill him to trying to overthrow him. Like, pick a side, it can't be that hard. Do you want to kill him and take over his kingdom, or do you want to overthrow him and take over his kingdom? It can't be that hard. And the whole Duncan Idaho Gola programming, that was actually so stupid because you mean to tell me you created this guy as a clone with the memories of Duncan Idaho, and somehow you expected that your little program that you put in his head was not going to fail. That's actually quite dumb. And you weren't at least going to be there when it was going to activate, so that you'd be like, okay, if this guy doesn't kill this guy, I'll be here to be able to kill this guy. But nah, you just trusted in him so much, even though he clearly showed signs that, okay, this thing isn't really going to work. Yeah, these conspirators were bad conspirators, to say the least. Last critique, obviously, the sexualization of Aliyah. She was only 16. It was too weird and it was quite unneeded. If she was 21, if she was 22, if she was at least an adult, I would have been like, okay, yeah, I see what you're going with this arc. She's just very, very erotically charged. So, yeah, I can understand. It's only nature, but then she's too young. 16 is quite young, bro. And apparently she kept on having visions about orgies her ancestors had. But like I said before, I really love what Denis Villeneuve did. He cast Anya Taylor-Joy, a 30-year-old, to play the character, so that at least if he's not aging her up, that part won't be weird, because like, okay, at least he used an adult. But I have a strong feeling he will age her up till at least when she's 19, because 16 is way too young. So in conclusion, these are my thoughts on Dune Messiah. Overall, I really love this book, especially the characterization of Paul, Chani, the Mangesserit, Stilgar, Hate, and even Aliyah when she's not being sexualized. Yes, so thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this, like the video and subscribe.